So, get this. Two of the world's biggest airlines get hacked, but the hackers never actually touch their systems. Today, we're going to break down a security incident that shines a huge spotlight on a threat facing pretty much every company out there, the danger that comes from the outside in. It sounds like a riddle, right? How can a fortress fall if the walls are never even breached? Well, that is the exact question at the heart of this Air France KLM data breach. And the answer? It really changes how we all need to think about digital security. So let's set the scene. It all kicked off on August 7th, 2025. A single announcement dropped, and it sent some serious shockwaves through the entire travel world. Air France and its partner KLM came out and confirmed they'd been hit by a cyber attack. But here's the twist, the part that makes this so important. The hackers never got into the airline's main servers. Their core flight systems, their financial databases, all of that was secure. The attack came from the outside, through a trusted partner. And that right there gets us to the real heart of this story. It turns out that just securing your own company, well, that's only half the battle. So what exactly is a third-party breach? Well, think of it this way. It's when attackers decide to just ignore your big, strong front door and instead find a side window that someone else left open. They target one of your partners, a vendor, a supplier, anybody who has legitimate access to your data, and they use that connection to get to you. It really just boils down to this old saying. Picture your whole operation as a giant chain. It doesn't matter how strong your links are. If one of your partners has a weak link, the entire chain can snap. And in our digital world, every single vendor is a link. Okay, so here's exactly how the attackers pulled it off. First, they didn't go after Air France or KLM. No, they went after a totally separate company, one that provided customer support services for the airlines. When that partner's security defenses failed, boom, it created a wide open door. The hackers just walked right through and helped themselves to the airline's customer data. It's a classic and devastatingly effective indirect attack. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, okay, but what do they actually get? And this is where the story gets really, really interesting, because the stolen data, while it wasn't financial, is incredibly powerful in the wrong hands. Let's be super clear about what was and was not taken. The good news is the really sensitive stuff, credit card numbers, passwords, financial info, that was all secure. But look at what was compromised. Your full name, email address, phone number, and even your loyalty program info. You might think that's not so bad, but for a hacker, that information is pure gold. So why is it gold? Because it's the perfect raw material for a very specific kind of attack called spear phishing. Now, unlike regular phishing, which is like a generic spam email sent to millions, spear phishing is personal. It's targeted, and because of that, it's unbelievably convincing. And here's what that actually looks like in practice. Just imagine you get an email, like this one. It's got your real name, it references your frequent flyer program by name, it might even mention a real flight you just took. It looks completely legitimate, right? And it's designed to make you panic just enough to click a link and give up the truly sensitive stuff, like your password or financial details. It is dangerously effective. This breach isn't just a story about an airline, it is a massive wake-up call for pretty much everyone. So what can we actually learn from all this? And maybe more importantly, what can we do about it? For businesses, the lesson is crystal clear. Your security perimeter does not end at your own firewall. You have to start treating your partner's security as if it's your own. That means you have to rigorously vet them, you have to demand high standards, and you have to understand that any data you share is only as safe as they keep it. Because, as we just saw, their weakness becomes your weakness. And what about for the rest of us? Well, we've got a defense plan too. After a breach like this, you have to be extra skeptical of every email. Just assume the scammers have your info. Next, if you're using the same password for everything, you are leaving all your digital doors unlocked. Please use unique passwords. But the single most powerful tool you have at your disposal is two-factor authentication. Enabling it everywhere you can is like adding a deadbolt to your front door. It can stop these attacks cold. Ultimately, that's the real takeaway here. The Air France KLM breach proves, without a doubt, that cybersecurity isn't just a problem for the IT department anymore. It's a team sport. Companies are responsible for their partners, and all of us are responsible for our own digital lives. And it leaves us with a pretty critical question for our hyper-connected world.
When your data is being passed along a whole chain of different companies, who is ultimately responsible for protecting it? It's something we all need to think about because that chain is only getting longer.